This is kind of a reflexive stopped recording and then immediately went, I really actually want to keep recording again. I thought I was tired of this, but I'm not. And, but I won't splice it on. It'll probably be its own separate thing. Because 2 hours is perfectly enough for one part. So if the previous part was 2 hours, this one will probably be its own separate part. Oh my goodness. Yeah. To avoid the whole intro cutscene thing happening, I just closed the game out. Okay. Got rudely interrupted by the autoplay cutscene, which I don't know why it does that. Okay. So here's what I thought. Don't I have all the old saves from like my first go through, right? Um, back in like October 24th. Oh dear, like way back here, right? So let's see let's we review um which scenes I need. I like the at the what scene I need that um joke internal monologue, not dialogue. What comes before it? So alarm is way down here. Collective symptoms, right? So I can load that collective symptoms save from way back in the beginning when I started the Let's Play, right? Collective symptoms. And then we just say, we take them and go. This is what we did the first time. We had stew. We're gonna transfer back here. See what happens. Yeah, what triggered this? Okay, I'm gonna put a save on this. Save 55, but now we can do this other one we didn't do before. So we could, well, what you can do, hold it in. As I thought, this is just too embarrassing. So I decided to hold it. But the urge to pee won't let up. It's like a constant knocking in my abdomen. A grand booming knocking, almost like the beginning of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. So like, needing to pee is like, ba 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 ba, 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 bum. But that's like when you start doing the dance, right? The well, sweat dripped from my body like rain. This is bad. This is really bad. What do I do? Let's try keep pulling it in. I pressed my inner thighs against the bed and buried my face in my pillow, trying to forget about it.
違うこと考えればいいのよ。
If only I could think about something else. Okay, let's just try to think about those philosophy lectures I had so much difficulty with.
ど 道徳刑事上学によって関東は我が上なる星空と我が内なる道徳律に。
Let's see. According to Grounding for the Metaphysics of Morals, Kant wrote, "Two things fill the mind with ever-increasing awe. The starry heavens above me and the moral law within me." Ah. My train of thought was interrupted almost immediately. I fought against the imminent tidal wave heading my way as I tossed and turned, rolling across the bed.
バイ。
This is bad. Hold it in some more.
それでも我慢するのよ。
Still, I have to hold it. Ah. Ah.
やっぱ無理。
I can't do it.
限界だよ。
I can't take it anymore. Writhing, I made my way towards the bathroom once again. If someone were to see me like this, I probably wouldn't ever be able to get married. But I try not to think about it. If I even thought about it, I probably burst into tears. I made up my mind and lowered myself onto the toilet.
疲れた。
Okay, keeps going. Okay. Yeah, as for what actually triggers that, I'm guessing it has something to do with, like, replicating everything from after the opening cutscene doesn't seem to replicate this, so it would have to have something to do with, like, your answer to the very first question, saying an angel. Like, something like that will trigger this. Which, that's a pretty remote connection. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's load this again. Yes.
どうすればいいの。
I'm gonna hold it in. Keep holding it in. And then do this one. Okay, so that just goes through. Okay. Hold it in. And then mentally prepare and go. Okay. Load.
どうすればいいのよ。
Just do mentally prepare and go is what I did the first time, right? So, let's go to title. Yes. Yes. And then, let's see if I got it. Got it. 100%. Yeah, so that's a hard one. But luckily I had that old save file that I could use. So, next one we have is Scars Taste Like Paranoia. We have something missing there. So let's go try to figure that out. Which you probably won't be able to do, but...
Nah, 冬川さん。
助けなかったら。
Okay. So this is this... Okay, your scars taste like paranoia. Head toward the main entrance or run to a private room. Here, we try both of these. But you have that choice, right? They have footstool or cardboard box. Right. So,
なあ冬川さん。
助けなかったら
it's the only two choices I see are um, entrance or room, or cardboard box or footstool. Private room. Okay, so it appears that you can't just choose whatever that last thing is. Something triggers in Scars Taste Like Paranoia that is from some previous part, right? And so there's something extra that triggers if you make some previous choice. Um, which is interesting. Let's try doing alarm here.
私
Tori's
ほ
room.
とりちゃんの方
But the thing is, we already did everything in alarm, which means there isn't anything we haven't hit. See if we be like a Joker here. I don't know if that's gonna. Okay, I'm just writing down some note here. It says something triggers from earlier choices. In scars tastes like paranoia. And I haven't figured out what that is yet. It appears that there's something you can do real early that changes what happens in that scene. And I don't know what that is, which is going to make this really complicated trying to figure out, like, how do I get that extra thing. So, let's go back to title. See what the next scene we need to fill stuff in here with. That is Shadow of Falsehood. So. Oh, have I not gotten there yet? So I got whom I can rely upon. Let's see here. Whoops. Place where bliss resides. I'm here. Shadow of Falsehood. Okay. Just whatever. It doesn't
し
matter
ょう
what I
が
do
ない
here.
な。それじゃあちょっとだけですよ。
Go. Okay, now here's Shadow of Falsehood. Okay, I don't see any choices in this. Interesting. Desire to change. There's no choices in there. Interesting. Okay, let's try doing something different here. Explain it to Meizumi. And then go back. Go back. Right?
あのおっさんを一人で行かせる
You'd let him go
気
alone?
一度行くって決めたなら最後までやり遂げな
If you already decided to do something, you can see it through to the end. What a conceited thing to say. But it's a second
わかり
opinion.
ましたよ。行けばい
Understood.
いんでしょ。
I guess I'll go
待って
then.
ね
Good luck. Her expression of encouragement was half-hearted. I was a little sullen, but I followed Yomogi once more. Right, okay. So that's a little piece of something that I previously missed. Now, if I hit dig a grave, is there more choices like inside that tree? No, okay. Okay. So I didn't find. Okay, so Just quit title. Yes. Okay, so now only Shadow of Falsehood has that untriggered thing in it. Okay. Curious. Whom I can rely is where I need to go next. Okay. Flipping through the file, I decided to reply to Yomogi. Okay. Let's try give an evasive answer. Able to sense an unusual air about Yomogi, I couldn't give him my honest opinion.
法律は抑止力だと思います。
I think the law acts as a deterring force.
加害者を守るためのものではないし、
It's not as if it exists to protect the criminal.
被害者に復讐を煽るものであってもならないんです。
And it doesn't exist as a way to fuel the victim's need for revenge. Unfortunately, it's often couched that way.
憎しみの連鎖を断つために機能しなくちゃいけないんです。
Meaning that when, like, someone isn't prosecuted, when someone thinks they should be, oh, think of the victim's family, and it's like, that's not the point. It has to function as a way to cut the chain of hatred.
必要悪なのかもしれませんね。
It may be a necessary evil. My method of evading the answer was too plain. Hearing my answer, Yomogi tilted his head a
一
little.
般論か。
Common opinion,
やっ
huh?
ぱり学生だな。
You're a student after all. And answer
す
thus.
いません。
I'm sorry.
責めてるわけじゃないよ。
I'm not criticizing you or
そうだ
anything.
な。君の言いたいことはわかるよ。
Well, I get what you're trying to say.
さてと、火が弱まってきたな。
Well then, it looks like the fire's gotten weaker. Okay, this goes. Okay, load. Tell him what
犬
honestly
伏
thought.
恵子は悪いこと。
Okay. Let's see
私
here.
も手伝います。
I'll lend you a hand. Standing up, I yelled down to the
それ
basement.
じゃあ、上で薪を受け取ってくれ。
In that case, can you take the firewood from above? Waiting at the top of the ladder, I take the firewood Yomogi is lifting up. It's kind of heavy. Hup,
無理するなよ。
don't overdo
平
it.
気です。
I'm fine. Bringing the firewood out of the basement, Yomogi and I carried it over beside the stove.
ありがとう。助かったよ。
Thanks, you really helped me
舞
out.
泉も冬川さんを見習ってくれるといいんだけどね。
Sure would be nice if Meizumi would follow your example, Fuyukawa-san. As though he wanted her to hear it, Yomogi spoke in a loud voice. But there was no response from Meizumi, who was curled up in bed. We exchanged glances and shrugged in unison. Now then, I have to listen to the message from Satoru. Regaining myself, I took out the VR.
俺は心が生きててくれて嬉しいよ。
I'm glad you were alive,
こんなことを
Kokoro.
言うのは亡くなった人に対して不謹慎かもしれないが、
It might be disrespectful to the dead for me to say this,
これは正直な俺の気持ちだ。
but this is truly how I
俺
feel.
は心に出会えたことを感謝してる。
I'm so glad that I met you,
お前
Kokoro.
がパートナーでよかったと思ってる。
I often think to myself, thank goodness that you're my
もし
partner.
もお前が他の誰かだったとしたら、もっととんでもないことになってたかもしれないし、
Did I change this dialogue by doing what I did last time I did Satoru or something? If you were anyone else, who knows what might have happened by now?
俺の体はちょっと傷ついてしまったけど、
My body may have this one wound,
でも俺たちは一応こうしてちゃんと生きてるわけだし、
but that the two of us are still alive right
そ
now
れは多分お前のおかげで、
is most likely thanks to
お
you.
前が冷静に行動してくれてるからで、
It's because you acted with a cool head.
何が言いたいんだろう。
What is it that I'm trying to
とにか
say?
く気を落とさないでくれ。
Anyway, please don't lose
お
heart.
前は一人ぼっちなんかじゃないんだ。
You are not alone.
俺はいつでもお前のそばにいる。
I'm always right next to you.
直接触れ合うことはできないけど、
I may not be able to make direct contact,
俺
but
とお前は一心同体みたいなものなんだから。
it's like you and I share one body and one heart.
だから俺がついてると思って安心してくれ。
So think of me as being right next to you and be at ease.
それじゃあな。
Bye then. Couldn't skip that. That's
俺は
odd.
心が生きててくれて嬉しいよ。
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that's different. I'm glad you're alive, Kokoro. That's what Satoru said. I think it's great that Satoru's my partner as well. If not, I think I'd already be worn out. I'm only here now because of Satoru supporting me. Continuing, I played Data 2. Interesting. Why is that new? I'll just do this one. I smilingly stared at Uni who's grappling with the radio. Uni got angry and finally started violently banging the radio against the floor. Doing that probably won't fix it though. Then Uni suddenly stood up.
分解しちゃおう。
If it comes to this, I'll take it
ダメ
apart.
よ。
Don't. Unable to watch any longer, I
分
spoke
解
up.
して治った試しはないわ。
It won't be easy as just checking to see whether it's fixed once you take it apart. It's fine to disassemble it, but during reassembly you always find a screw left over. That kind of pattern happens all the
じゃあ
time.
どうすればいいの？
What should I do then? Even as if he asks that, there's nothing to be done for it. I'm not knowledgeable enough to fix the
諦
radio.
めるしかないんじゃない？
We'll just have to give up,
でも
right?
聞きたいんだもん。
But I want to listen to it. Uni stamped his feet on the ground. Then he began to smack the radio against the floor
そ
again.
んなことしたら壊れちゃうよ。
It'll break if you do
どう
that.
せもう壊れてるじゃんか。
It's already broken anyway.
そうなんだけど。
That's true, but as it hit the floor, something flew off the radio. I thought it had broken, but it seemed like only that the cover of the battery compartment had fallen off.
あ、
Ah, he let out a shout of surprise as he picked up the
電池
radio.
入ってないや。
It doesn't have any batteries. Put a save here. Right, that save. Yes. Okay. And do this bad choice here. Let's see what it does.
お願いします。
Please. Reunited and threw some firewood inside the stove. The heat of the fire increased in intensity to the point where I could feel it against my face. So warm. I sighed in
Alright.
relief. How's that?
助かります。
Thanks, you saved me. I'm equally bold. From behind me, I heard the sound of someone clucking their tongue. I turned around and saw Mayuzumi wrapped in blankets on the top bed, looking at Yomogi with
そ
cold
の子には
eyes.
随分親切なのね。
You're awfully nice to her. Yomogi looked up at the ceiling, fed
おい
up.
おい、そんなこと言ってる場合じゃないだろ
Hey now, this isn't the time to say stuff like that. With a little snort, Mayuzumi turns her back to us and lies
Yakimochi
down.
ka?
Jealous? Mayuzumi didn't try to talk back, even after Yomogi's joke.
う。もう、
More clones and furthermore arcade. More clone. It's clone change. Running out of save slots. Okay. Wait here. I'll try waiting in front of the entrance for the time being. Sooner or later, she'll come back on her own. Curling up to keep warm, I gazed off far into the darkness. But it was too cold to sit still and wait here like this. Even while standing, the cold manages to creep in from under the feet and chill me to the core. I concluded that it would be the same whether I waited for her inside or outside. However, since I'd gone and told Uni that I'd go out and search for her, I couldn't really return without Utsumi along with me. Half obstinately, I continued to stand there. 10 minutes had probably passed. Utsumi returned, her steps light like the clouds of
内
summer.
海さん、
Sumi-san.
どうしたの？
Oh,
ど
what
こ
happened?
に行ってたんですか？
Where'd you go off to?
ちょっとね。お星様にお祈りしてたの。
Oh, just a little something. I went to pray to the stars. Utsumi's voice as she said that was extremely cheerful. I wonder if something good had happened. And as if able to read my face, Utsumi took out a photograph from her breast pocket.
息子の誕生日なのよ。
Tomorrow is my son's birthday. Eh? So Utsumi had a child. But I haven't seen anyone like that at SHIA. It can't be that Uni is Utsumi's child or something ridiculous like that.
そうなんですか。おめでとうございます。
Is that so? Congratulations.
ありがとう。
なん
Thank
てお
you.
名前なんですか？
What's his name?
純一っていうのよ。
His name is Junichi. Utsumi showed me the picture. The picture was of a boy who looked slightly mischievous. A healthy-looking suntan darkened his skin. He was probably a little younger than Uni. Looking at the camera, his entire face was lit by a smile and he was making a V
す
sign.
ごくやんちゃで困ってるのよ。
He's really naughty, quite the handful. Utsumi's face as she said that was full of affection. It was the face of a
で
mother.
も、兄弟ができて、ようやくお兄ちゃんらしくなったかしら。
But ever since he got a sibling, he finally started acting like more of an older brother. That's a weird line. Saying that, she shows me a different picture. It was a picture of a baby. This was probably taken a few months after birth.
へえ、かわいいですね。
How kawaii,
そうでしょう。
right? Appearing truly happy, Utsumi gazed at the
いい
photograph.
でちゅか？お兄ちゃんにおめでとうって言いましょうね。
Tell big brother congratulations, okay? She spoke to the photograph using baby talk. Watching her, she looked somehow pitiful. I finally knew that what Izumi had come here to do. This is SHIA, the specified psychiatric hospital for isolation and ages. Why was Utsumi here? Why weren't her children here with her? I think I can more or less figure it out now. That's why Utsumi was now praying for her children living somewhere else far away. Praying with all her heart that for her children living underneath the same sky. Makes me want to pray too. That's what I thought. For them to be able to once again live together as mother and child even a second sooner. Then, when I called for Utsumi to return with me to the institution, she answered, I just want to walk for a little while longer, and went off. That's why I returned to the institution, alone. That day, at dinner time, let's say you do eat. I ate. For some reason, I had a hard time getting food down my throat. I must have been tired. To me, the food was neither good nor bad, but it was an extremely dull dinner. Having finished my meal, I returned to my room. It was good and bad at the same time, apparently. We were all worried about that, but apparently it doesn't matter because they don't put the poison in the food. All the stress must have been getting to me. I threw myself down into the warm, welcoming bed, and before I knew it, I began to doze off. I lost consciousness. Okay, this is an important thing to put a save on. Okay. Let's do some combinations of this.
私は、まゆずみさんに任せたいと思います。
I think I want to let Mayuzumi-san do it.
ココロン、どうしちゃったの？
Kokron, what happened?
それ本気で言ってる？
Do you seriously mean that? Uni raised his voice to a shrill pitch. Yomogi, too, looked at me, an expression on his face that seemed to say, how unexpected. Mayuzumi cried out in delight and embraced my
そうこな
shoulders.
くっちゃ
That's how it's gotta
やっ
be.
ぱ女同士分かり合えるわね
Girls really do understand each other after all, huh? With an expression as though she would start licking her lips at any moment, Mayuzumi picked the rations up off the tabletop as if they were her possessions. As she did, Yomogi seized her
ま
hand.
だ一票ずつ入っただけだ。
That was only one
君が
vote.
管理すると決まったわけじゃない。
It's not decided that you'll be the one to manage it yet. Mayuzumi reluctantly tossed the food back onto the table. A can of biscuits rolled across the table.
なあ、冬川さん。
Hey,
どうして
Furukawa-san,
彼女に食料を任せたいと思ったんだ？
why do you want to leave the food supply to her?
それはよもぎさんの負担を軽くしたかったから。
It's because I wanted to lighten the burden on Yomogi-san.
僕の？
On me?
はいよもぎさんはろくに眠りもせずに火の番もしてくれています。
Yes, Yomogi-san, you don't sleep very well because you tend the fire at night.
さらに加えてみんなの食料にまで気を配るなんてオーバーワークじゃないですか。
To add to that, if you have to constantly pay attention to dividing the food between everyone as well, won't you be
そ
overworked?
れほど苦ではないが。
It's not as rough as you make it sound.
それに眉住さんも一緒に遭難した仲間なんです。
And besides, Mayuzumi-san's in the same boat as us after that disaster, after all.
彼女にも責任ある仕事をしてもらった方がなんというか連帯感が出るような気がして。
If we give her a job that carries some responsibility, it somehow feels like that will heighten our feelings of solidarity.
ココロンはリンを信じられるっていうの？
Are you saying we should believe in Lin, Kokoron? Looking at my lap, I thought to myself for a little and then answered in a soft
信じる
voice.
よ。
I believe in her. Really, there's also a part of me that doesn't, because I've seen her selfish behavior myself several times, but I always held the feeling that I have to believe. Yomogi, who was listening to my explanation with his arms folded, placed our rations in front of
わか
Mayuzumi.
った。食料は眉住にお願いしよ
I understand. We'll leave the food supply to
分
Mayuzumi.
かったわ
Got it. Mayuzumi meekly accepted the rations. She carefully places them in her
あなたた
bag.
ちの健康状態を考えて分配するわ
I'll keep your current health in mind when I divide
心
them.
配しないで
Don't worry. From that appearance, it really didn't seem like she was trying to monopolize it for herself at all. That's what I wanted to
これでいい
believe.
のよ。
It's fine like this. I muttered softly as if trying to persuade myself. I mean, what difference does it make if you have Yomogi manage it, you'll end up with all of it and the baby will eat it. So it would be good if this could improve the strained atmosphere even a little bit. Mayuzumi jumped into her bed and hid her bag underneath the blanket. At that time, her expression was a vulgar grin.
ココロン
Kokoron.
大丈夫よ。信じよう。
It's going to be okay. Let's believe in her. While smiling in response to Uni's face clouded with worry, I couldn't help but pray inside my heart. Please. Closing my eyes, I pray. Please, somebody, hurry and save us. Let's see how this changes things up. See what kind of bad ending I get. Good
小
for
屋
each
に
other.
戻ろう。
Let's go back to the cabin. Yeah. Following in the trail of footprints we'd left, we headed back toward the cabin. What we saw when we returned to the shelter cabin took my breath away.
う。この女、チョコを一人で食っちまったんだ。
That woman, she ate all the chocolate herself. What happens normally?
それを咎めたら突き飛ばされた。くそ。
And when I confronted her about it, she pushed me down like this. Yamori stood and dusted off his knees, scowling at Mayuzumi. You need to closer to
なん
Mayuzumi.
でそんなことするんだよ。それはみんなのものだろ。
I don't know how you could do such a thing. That's everyone's food, isn't it?
あんたらいなくなったからさ、もういらないかなと思って。
I was just thinking, if only you all weren't here, you wouldn't need
管
it.
理者は私でしょ。
I'm the manager here, aren't I? So those dark red stains around her mouth, they were chocolate. She wiped them off with one finger and then licked it
ど
clean.
うして
Why?
私、真由美さんを信じたのに。信じたから任せたのに。
Mayuzumi-san, I believed in you. Because I believed in you, I entrusted this to you. Mayuzumi turned toward me with an insolent smile as though she were trying to start a
言っ
fight.
たでしょ。ここでは私が法律よ。
Didn't I say it before? I make the rules
計
here.
算してみたの。
How
この
calculating.
食料を4人で分け合ったら、4日間生き延びるのがせいぜいよ。
If we divide these provisions among 4 people, we can only survive for another 4 days at most.
1枚しかないチョコを全員で分けたら生き残れない。
With only this one last chocolate bar, we won't survive even if we divide it up
だけ
equally.
ど、私が一人で食べれば生きていける。
But
私
if
は
I
ね、
but if I eat it myself, I can go on living, just me.
だから食べたの。
So I ate
刑
it.
法第37条。自己または他人の生命、身体、自由、または財産に対する現在の危難を避けるため、やむを得ずにした行為は、
Penal Code Article 37, to avoid imminent danger to oneself or others' life, body, freedom, or
これによ
property.
って生じた害が避けようとした害の程度を超えなかった緊急避難。弁護士としての判断ね。
In the case of level of harm, harm the original danger would have caused, if not exceeded, there will be no punishment carried out against the party in question. I hate this text. Okay. That's the course of action I'm recommending as a lawyer.
そんな言い訳通るわけないじゃん。
There's no way we'll accept an excuse like
チョ
that.
コ返せよ。返せ。
Give back the chocolate. Give it
もう
back.
食べちゃったもんは戻らないわよ。
I already ate it. You won't be getting it back. Uni have been scowling at me the whole time.
だから言ったのに。
Kokron, that's what I said.
こんなやつ信じちゃダメだったんだよ。
There's no way we could believe in someone like her. Mayuzumi was completely calm, and a thin smile rose to her face. Maybe she didn't even realize that she was at fault. Mayuzumi stared intently at me as I trembled.
信じちゃいけなかったんですか。
Was I wrong to believe in
信
you?
じた私がバカだったんですか。
Was I a baka for believing in you?
裏切るつもりはなかったわ。
I had no intention of betraying your trust.
私は死にたくなかっただけ。
It's just that I don't want to
生
die.
きて会わなきゃいけない人がいるから。
There are people I need to see again, so I have to
そ
live.
れだけよ。
That's the only reason.
私だって死にたくない。みんなそう思ってますよ。
I don't want to die either. All of us feel the same way.
それなのに。それなのに。
But even so, my eyes blurred with tears of frustration and sorrow. Burying my face in Yomogi's chest, I wailed loudly. The things Mayuzumi had said were unforgivable. Tears came streaming down my cheeks. Looking at me in that state, Mayuzumi spat these words
甘
at
い
me.
わ、あんた。
You are so
泣け
naive.
ば誰かが助けてくれると思ってやがる。
Do you think somebody's gonna come save you if you
あ
cry?
んたみたいなのが真っ先に死ぬタイプ。
People like you are always the first to die. Mayuzumi continued while sneering
そ
at
も
me.
そもね、苦しいと
I pushed the can back at Yomogi.
よもぎさんが保管してください。
Please safeguard it instead,
それでい
Yomogi-san.
いよね、ユニ。
That's fine, right,
も
Yuni?
ちろん文句ないよ。
Of course, no
そう
objections.
か。わかったよ。
I see, got it.
僕が責任を持って管理しよ
I'll take responsibility and manage it. With that said, Yomogi took a vinyl bag out of the emergency kit out from an emergency kit inside the storeroom. He then wrapped the can up and sealed the bag. This was to prevent it from getting damp or spilling just in case. Holding the can as if it were a great value, Yamogi favored us with a gentle, fatherly
絶
smile.
対に生き延びような。
We're going to survive.
はい。
Right. He climbed back
よもぎ
upstairs.
さん、あんないい人なのに。
I hurried up the ladder while jokingly pretending to cry. In actuality, the innermost feelings were hurt a little, but that was a secret. All of a sudden, I lost my balance. I was supposed to be climbing the ladder in the shelter cabin, but now I was groveling on a concrete floor. Did I miss my footing and fall down? That's what I thought at first. But wait, something's wrong. There's no shock from a fall. I couldn't see anything in front of me. Eh? Okay, this is a, I have to save here, but I'm running out of slots. So, do this one. Stop. Advance to the right. I began to walk toward the terrace. If I remember correctly, Satori's room is this way. My steps are uncertain. Due to the incessant snow and wind, just crossing the terrace was a laborious task. My physical strength was being sapped by the cold. I can't even walk in a straight line. I can't even reach Satori's room. It's a matter of time before I pass out. How do things set it up like this? What did I ever do? Thinking of a helpless situation caused me to start sobbing uncontrollably. The tears won't stop. The tears running down my cheek felt unbearably cold. Walking in a daze, I reached another room. I tried to push up the window, almost clinging onto it.
どうして開かないの？
Why won't it open? I don't remember locking it. Leaning against it, I took a look inside. Inside the dark room, with woman's clothes were lying folded on top of the bed.
内海さんの部屋。
This is Zumi-san's room. I was wrong. So Satoru's room was on the other side. Should I go back? I considered it for a moment. I shook my head. It's impossible. In this snow, I can't circle around the building and make it to the other side. My legs won't
ここ
move
から
anymore.
中に入ろう。
I go inside from here. I eagerly brushed away the snow with hands that felt like sticks. I thought about looking for a stone, but I couldn't find one. My vision was blurred. My body was numb from the cold. I suddenly felt a hard object with my numb fingers. A stone. Stone the size of a fist. I don't even have enough strength to grip it. Holding it between my hands, I lifted the stone up. Using every bit of strength in my body, I heaved the stone against the window. Over and over and over again, like a madman, I kept pounding away with the rock. Then it broke. I touched my hand into the crack. Turning the crescent lock, I opened the window. Luckily, the interior window wasn't locked. Fire wrapped around my body. I'm saved. Tears flowed out from the sheer relief I felt. Even my numb limbs had started to feel pain again. I hurriedly entered the bathroom. I warmed my hands in the hot water from the shower. I gritted my teeth as I held my hands to get under water so hot it made me instinctively want to spring back. Gradually, feeling came back to my fingertips. The sensation of pain returned. Then, because I had suddenly made contact with the hot water, my body got goosebumps. Gazing into the mirror, I noticed that Satoru's face was a mess. It was wet and soggy with tears and snow. The lips were ghastly blue, shivering from the cold. I also used the water to wash my face. Pleasant warmth sank into my body. Alive.
私は生きてる。
I'm alive. I smiled without realizing it. I was stranded out in the intense cold by the murderous monster, but I had managed to return alive and safe. I laughed as the warm steam washed over me.
私は生きて。
I'm alive! Eh? Suddenly I felt a sharp pain near my waist. I turned around slowly. Someone was standing there. I couldn't see their face. Thanks to piercing pain through my back, I realized that a solid, sharp object had pierced my body from behind. I've been stabbed with a knife. I collapsed into the bathtub. Blood began to pour from my body. From within my fading consciousness, I saw the face of the person raising the knife overhead. You're... That's a good one. Yes. Okay. Um, let's do, I think Yomogi is right.
私はよもぎさんが正しいと思います。助かりたいのならよもぎさんに従うべきです。
If we want to be saved, we should do as Yomogi says. A snort of discontent came from Meizumi's nose.
何よ、この男に取り入ろうっていうの？
What the hell? Are you trying to say that I should make nice with this guy?
私はただ
I
前
just...
から思ってたけど、あんたたちってずいぶん仲良さそうじゃない？
I thought so since before, but you and he sure are close, aren't you?
できてんの？
Are you two doing it?
まゆずみさん、
Meizumi-san.
いくらなんでも失礼。
Even if you were upset, that was rude.
うるさい！
Shut it. Meizumi didn't intend to listen to my
二人で
words.
グルになって何企んでんのよ。
The two of you are always scheming together. What are you planning? It's no good. Being driven into a corner in such a dire situation, Meizumi is beginning to see suspicious goings-on everywhere. She won't believe anyone now. Like this, whatever we say will be
真由
useless.
住落ち着いてくれ。
Meizumi, calm
君
down.
がそんな態度を続けるならこっちもそれ相応の手段に出なきゃいけなくなる。
If you continue with that attitude of yours, I'll have to use appropriate measures to stop you. Meizumi gulped and began to tremble. Turning blue, she took a step back.
何それ？
What do you mean?
殺す気？
They're gonna kill me? With a disturbingly unusual atmosphere for him, Yomogi took a single step toward Meizumi. An alarm went off inside my heart. There's no way he would, I thought, but Yomogi, what are you...
前にも言ったはずだ。
I said it before,
雪山
too.
ではたった一人の勝手な行動がチーム全体を死に追いやると。
On a snowy mountain, if even a single person acts selfishly, they'll lead the entire team to their deaths.
もしも君がバカな真似を続けるなら僕はチームを守るために
If you keep acting like such a baka, to protect the team,
個
I'll
人を切り捨てる。
throw you away without a second thought.
それ脅し？
Is that a
脅
threat?
しじゃないさ。
It's not a
ルール
threat.
だ。
It's a rule. Quietly, from the feeling of forcible oppression hanging in the air, I felt the vaguest sense of something terrible in Yomogi. If he were seriously planning on executing the rule he just mentioned, I won't be able to oppose him either. Because there is nothing that would keep him from enforcing this rule against
ふざけん
Meizumi.
な！
Cut the crap. Without noticing my anxiety at all, Meizumi
あんた
exploded.
が一番危ないじゃねえか。
You're the most dangerous one here, aren't you? Her face flushed and crimson, she clings onto the same argument recklessly. Her thin hand struck Yomogi's broad chest. The moment Yomogi staggers, a cup on the table falls with a loud noise. The chilled coffee in it was thrown to the floor.
やめてよ。
Stop
喧
it.
嘩はダメだよ。
No fighting. This is bad. Like this, things between us will only get more and more awkward. Even though the team's harmony is essential for our survival,
やめてください。
Please stop it. I shouted. However, the blood had rushed to her head and Meizumi refused to stop. She made a grab for
ダメ
Yomogi.
だってば。
Stop it already.
ここで怪我したら全部が台無しになるんだよ。
If you get injured here, it's all over, right? Uni clung to Meizumi's
邪魔なん
waist.
だよガキが。
You're in the way, you brat. She easily shook him off. Stumbling, Uni slammed into the table. Shaken by the impact, the can of biscuits was knocked over and rolled onto the floor. The can compressed and the lid popped open. Everyone was swallowed their breath. We thought that the food had spilled. However, there was only a crack in the lid. The contents were still safe. Meizumi glared at Uni and spat out stinging
ユニの
words.
せいで食料がダメになるとこじゃない。
Isn't it because of Uni that our food supply is in this terrible state? Grabbing Uni by the collar, Meizumi silently approached Yomogi. In a flash, Yomogi's hand moved and slapped Meizumi across the cheek. Meizumi's movements came to a stop. Quietly, I took a peek at Meizumi's facial expression. Pressing a hand to her reddened cheek, Meizumi stands there dumbfounded. I'm sorry. While staring at the hand that he slapped her with, Yomogi apologized. However, he continues in a strong
だから
tone.
こんな時にわがままはやめてくれよ。
But please, stop being so selfish in times like this.
命がかかってるんだ。
Our lives are at risk. Boom. Okay. Just got through that variation. White world. Yes. I'm gonna try walk along the wall. It's dangerous to move around at random. The premises of SHIA are large. It would be disastrous if I got lost. I recalled several incidents in narrow ski resort areas where victims died very close to the hotel. I started to walk around the building along the walls of the facility. I really have no clue where I'm going. Eventually I reached the terrace. From the window, the lights of the living area shone brightly. Surveying the room, there wasn't a trace of anyone inside. Yuni, Utsumi, and Otori, where did they all go? They couldn't have. An unpleasant premonition crosses my mind. Did that someone also attack them? Shaking my head, I tried to erase that idea. I tried to see whether or not I could open the window. Was the window locked from the inside, or would it just not open? In any case, checking out the window yielded no favorable results. I gave up on the window and left. The splitting pain in my head was unbearable, and my consciousness was starting to slip away. After a while, a small window came into sight. I peeked inside. It was a private room. My body won't stop shaking. I can't feel my limbs anymore. Walking with my dull legs feels like swinging massive logs. My vision is blurry, too. If I don't hurry up and do something, I'll collapse soon. Try my best to read... Okay. And then the right side leads to death, so then you go left side. Right. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Warm air wrapped around my body. I'm saved. Tears flowed out from a sheer relief I felt. Even my numb limbs started to feel pain again. I hurriedly entered the bathroom. Okay, I don't know why this is not skippable, because this is the same text. What was that? Okay. So I've been watching my movements from inside in order to ambush me in Satoru's room. I collapsed in the bathtub. Okay. So that leads to death too. Interesting. Okay. Let's look at the clear list. So the new ending, stabbed to death in the bathroom, end A. Is what I'm getting, okay. Still have Discord, Scars Taste Like Paranoia stuff left, Shadow of Falsehood stuff not triggered. Okay. I have to actually read through these scenes to figure out these triggers. In Shadow of Falsehood, that I am not... that from something earlier. Okay. The decision, her illness, do you believe in fate, psychic examination results, whom can I rely upon, chain-like spiral, memories and predictions, new life, emotional trauma, crucified, feeling you believe in, artificial personality exchange, the beginning of ego collapse, choosing life, white world. Okay, so the beginning of ego collapse needs some work. See, I need to... Oops. And then we're in white world, right? Okay. We're at 100% in white world. So, do we have anything from like the beginning? The feeling you believe in comes before the beginning of ego collapse. Okay. So I have one in the feeling you believe in. I was gonna say
私は
Yomogi. Physical. I mean, artificial personality exchange. The beginning of ego collapse. Okay. Ask Uni why he'd run away. Huh. Interesting. I just wrote the beginning of ego collapse needs work. Keep going. Okay, so walk away from the building first. Then you stop. To the left. That clears you out. Okay, here's the big bad ending potential here. My throat was completely dry. It was painful to breathe. My heart continued pounding furiously. Why was Uni here? Why is he crying like this? Does Uni actually know everything about my and Satoru's personality transfers? What if being an innocent child that doesn't know anything was really just an act? What if the one lying was Uni? That can't be. For a child like him to have done that, it can't be. Despite all the calm reasoning I had done, deep in my heart I had begun to think that there was something eerie about Uni. This child, who is he? It can't be, but did he kill that man? Did he attack Satoru? Somebody answer me. I don't know what's going on anymore.
どうしたの？
What happened? Okay. Two more empty slots. Probably take the knife away. I jump toward the knife. My movements are surprisingly quick. That's right, I'm in Satoru's body right now. I'm faster and stronger than I usually am. If I can manage to snatch away the knife, I won't lose to these two. I reach for the knife with all my might, but Intense pain shot through my left hand. My dominant arm, Satoru's left arm, was cut. My fingers brushed the knife in it for an instant, but I wasn't able to grasp it. The bloody knife slid across the floor and stopped right at Hotori's feet. Hotori took it in hand as if clinging to it. Hotori and Utsumi glared at each other, separated by the corpse between them. I all but rolled into a standing position. Letting out a vicious, voiceless scream, Hotori gripped the knife. Hotori had a desperate look on her face. However, tears rolled softly down her cheeks. Was she crying?
しなさい
Okay, no bad ending there, apparently. Look out the window. Looked out from inside the bed. The window was completely frosted over with snow, so the outside scenery could hardly be seen. However, there's a terrible roar coming from outside. We were in the thick of a violent blizzard. The raging wind and snow repeatedly slammed against the window, creating an uneasy impression that it might crack at any moment. I looked away from the window. Everyone in the shelter cabin had already woken up. They were all shivering. Okay. Suddenly Yomogi opened his mouth.
食事にしようか。
We should eat. Plastering a faint smile on his face, Yuni nods.
僕もうお腹ペコペコだよ
Okay, I'm already starving. I was hungry as well. My stomach was so empty it hurt. Hunger is like a wave. Once the peak of hunger passes for a moment, the appetite disappears. However, when another 30 minutes have passed, another wave of hunger comes. This repeats itself over and over. Right now, I'm on top of a wave of hunger. I felt like I was beginning to see illusions of
本
food.
当はもう少し耐えるつもりだったんだが、あまりにも寒すぎる。
I really wanted to conserve it a bit more, but it's much too
空
cold.
腹状態だと低体温症になりやすいんだ。
When you're hungry, it's easier to get hypothermia.
体温を上げるためにも食
So
料
let's have a meal so we can raise our body temperature. Hearing Yomogi's words, Mayazumi moved slowly as well. She probably felt like having a meal as well. From underneath what looked like 12 people's worth of blankets, she took out her bag without getting up. She took out her can of hardtack while throwing us a dubious glance. Like a cowardly squirrel, she munched on the hardtack while heeding her surroundings. No doubt she worried that it'll be taken. There wasn't even a particle remaining in the refined image she first had. It was a terribly miserable appearance. However, it's no surprise. When death draws this close, people revert back into animals. They have to do so. There are no class distinctions when you're in hell, is what it means. I began to feel sad, and then Yuni walked up to Yomogi and whispered something in his ear.
セイジ
Hey, Seiji. Yomogi gave a small nod. He's the one keeping our share of food. Yomogi took the can of hardtack out of the vinyl bag as he stored it in. Inside the bag was a can of hardtack, packed in and filled to the brim. It was Yomogi's, Yuni's, and mine, 3 people's worth of food. For now, we divided the food into 4 equal parts. However, as proof that we were going to be saved and live on, we once again left one of the pieces for later. For me, that act was the same as hopefully proclaiming, I'm not alone, I have comrades. This one can of food signified hope to me in many ways. Turning his back away from Mayuzumi, Yomogi opened the bag in the location that is a blind spot for
水
her.
分もちゃんと補給してくれよ。
Remember to replenish your moisture, okay?
脱水症状も寒さの大敵だ。低体温症になりやすくなる。
Dehydration is a powerful enemy in the cold. It'll make it easier to catch hypothermia.
どうした？
What's wrong? Yuni held up his PET bottle. Ice had formed on the surface.
凍っちゃった
It froze.
おいおい、凍らさないように気をつけろって言っただろう。
Hey, I told you to be careful so it didn't freeze, didn't I? Yuni may have forgotten Yomogi's instructions, as he seemed to have removed his water from his blanket. The air inside the shelter cabin was so strong, it stung. So cold, it stung. Even though it froze over, probably not very much time has passed. Yuni lowered his head as if wilting.
ごめんなさい
I'm sorry.
過ぎたことは仕方がない。氷水はもう飲めないから。
What's done is done, but you can't drink ice water. Yumi put the can of hardtack on the side and took out his own PET bottle from under the blanket.
僕の水を分けてあげるよ。
I'll give you some
カッ
of
プ
mine.
はどこにあったかな？
Where did the cup go? I found a steel cup sitting on top of the now flameless stove. Oh man. One more file. Okay. Go get it. I decided to go get the cup. Standing up, I walked to the stove. It felt like my feet had become stiff because of the cold. I hand the cup to
はい
Yomogi.
これ
Here it is.
すまん。
Oh, sorry.
ごめんねセイジ
I'm sorry, Seiji. For that moment, our attention was completely focused on the water. Our eyes left the food that Yomogi had put to the side. I heard the sound of footsteps. Mayuzumi was moving much faster than I would have expected. Before we noticed that Mayuzumi had taken the can with our food inside it. She cradled it, and as if trying to get as far away from us as possible, she ran toward the door of the shelter cabin. Standing with her back against the door, Mayuzumi's normally handsome face was warped and ugly as she looked back at us. And if she had come to some sort of understanding by herself, she scowled at us one by one with a dreadful expression.
何よこれ
What is this? Mayuzumi's shrill voice resounded throughout the cabin.
なんでこんなに食べ物があるのよ
How did this? There is food?
まさかあんたたち私だけのけ者にして隠し持ってたの
Don't tell me that you all shunned me and hid it from me. Her eyes were full of suspicion, restlessly studying us. This is bad. Mayuzumi has the wrong idea.
違います
No, you're wrong.
落ち着け。
Calm
う
down.
るさい
Shut the hell up. When we took a step toward Mayuzumi, she stepped back and grew more and more wary.
最低よあんたたち最低よ
You bastards, you are all bastards.
私を殺す気ね3人だけで生き残ろうって魂胆ね
Do you plan to kill me? You're all plotting for just the three of you to survive.
誤解です
You've got it all wrong. Mayuzumi didn't even try to listen. She kept shaking her head, refusing to
そ
hear
うは
us.
させるもんか
As if I'd let you. Mayuzumi abruptly turned. Opening the door, she flew out into the intense snowstorm. Wait. Yomogi hurried out after her. Yuni and I were right behind him. As soon as we got outside, the snow and wind painfully struck against my face. I can't even keep my eyes open, and yet somehow, by squinting my eyes, I was able to look for the figure of Mayuzumi. In the white landscape, I saw Mayuzumi's back. She was running unsteadily. Mingled with the sound of the roaring wind, I heard her screams.
こんなものこうしてやる
You, how dare you, I'll show you. Mayuzumi turned the can upside down, emptying all the biscuits into her hand. Then she brought the hand holding the pile of biscuits to her mouth. No. I tried to stop her, but it was already too late. Without any hesitation, Mayuzumi tossed the biscuits into her mouth. In her frenzy, the biscuits that didn't reach her mouth fell into the snow. Mayuzumi's body swayed, then collapsed like that onto the snow. Yagami caught up to her and forcibly pulled her to her
お前、なんてことを
You, what have you done? Mayuzumi forcibly shook up Yomogi's hand. Her jaw was busy chewing.
そんな僕たちのご飯
Oh no, our food. Yuni weakly muttered beside me. I too felt my energy leaving me. All our precious rations are gone. What will we do
あんた
now?
たちが悪いんだ
You're the ones at fault here. You made the wrong decision. Still facing away from us, Mayuzumi kept ranting.
平等に分配しようだってどこが平等なのよ
Let's divide it equally. Huh? Some equality.
私に隠れて3人でこそこそと多めに食料を隠し持ってるなんて
You three secretly hid it from me. You kept all the food to yourself.
自分たちが生き延びるためなら私なんか死んだっていいってわけ
Sacrificing me so the rest of you can live.
ふざけんな
Don't with me. Rather, maybe her rage was shocked even Yomogi, for he didn't dare object. But I couldn't
そ
stay
れは誤解だっ
quiet.
て言ってるでしょ
I said you got it all
あれは
wrong.
私とヨモギさんとユニ3人分の食料を一つにまとめただけだったんです
What you ate was our combined rations, Yomogi's, Yuni's, and mine.
騙されるもんか
You think you can trick me? I couldn't forgive her obstinate attitude. Why doesn't she even try to trust us? Why is she always so selfish? Even if she acts that way, it's useless. We have to help
あ
each
ゆ
other.
ずみさんあなたは自分のやったことが
Mayuzumi-san, what you've done,
もういいよ。
that's enough. As if he had given up, Yomogi shook his
小屋に
head.
戻ろ
Let's go back to the cabin. But
とにかく戻ろう。このままじゃ凍え死ぬ。
in any case, let's go back. We'll die of the cold if we keep hanging around here. We've been outside for only a short while, and yet my body was already covered in snow. While brushing off the snow clinging to my coat, I glanced at Miyazumi. Still standing in the doorway, without trying to brush the snow away, Miyazumi grumbled to
私
herself.
は悪くない。私は悪くない。
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Yamori abruptly gripped her wrist. What now? She tried to shake him off again, but this time Yomogi didn't break his hold.
なんなのよ。手離してよ。痛いでしょ。
What are you doing? Let go of me. It hurts.
君は少し頭を冷やす必要がある。
You, Miyazumi, are in need of cooling
僕
off.
たち3人の食料はもうない。
The three of us have no food
君の
anymore.
せいで僕たちは君より先に死ぬだろ
Because of you, it seems we'll die before you do.
私を出し抜こうとした罰よ。
What's your punishment for trying? That's your punishment for trying to outwit me. She bluntly
私
declared.
は生き延びるためならあんたたちだって平気で見殺しにできる。
If it's so I can live, I'd calmly watch you all die.
あんたたちにその覚悟がある？
Do you hate that resolution?
どうせないでしょ。なら一生仲良しごっこやってなさいよ。
Not at all, right? Then by all means, go ahead, pretend to be the bestest best friends in the whole wide world.
私は慣れ合いなんてまっぴら。
I sure as hell couldn't care less about making nice with you. How could she talk like this, looking down so much on people? Down now, I didn't especially blame Miyazumi for her selfish behavior. I thought that she too had it tough. But was that a mistake on my part? I wonder if I just ended up inviting more arrogance. I don't
う。
understand
君
her.
のそういう態度が僕たちの命を危険にさらすんだ。
Your attitude will put our lives in danger. Yamogi's tone sounded calm and disinterested, but on the contrary, it just transmitted how angry he
自
was.
分のしたことをよく考えてみるんだ。
Try to reflect on what
地
you've
下室
done.
で頭を冷やせ。
Go down to the basement and cool off. This shocked Miyazumi and me too. Yomogi's saying he wants to punish her. Miyazumi struggled trying to escape from Yomogi.
話して話してよ。
Let me go, let me go. Yomogi pulled Miyazumi with great force. The difference in strength between a man and a woman is too great. No matter how hard she struggles, Miyazumi can't escape from Yomogi.
ふざけんなよ。本当に私を殺す気ね。話せ人殺し。
You really want to kill me? Let me go, murderer.
人殺しは君だろ
You are the murderer.
こんな。
You. Finally, Miyazumi struck Yomogi. Look out. But there wasn't even the need to warn him. Due to the cold, almost no power was left in her fist, as if she had no more energy at all. When that fist grazed Yomogi's face, we only heard a dull sound. Only that. Yomogi didn't even react to it. Still staring at Miyazumi with cold eyes, he pointed at the ladder to the cellar
Sa.
below.
う。降りるんだ。
So climb on down.
いや。
No.
降りるんだ。
Get down there. This stern attitude is one that Yomogi rarely shows. That of a true mountain man. This is the stern attitude of a man who fights against the harshness of nature. Even the cunning Miyazumi flinched. Still biting her lip, she climbed the ladder. When he saw that she had reached the bottom and let go, Yomogi shook the ladder. Shedding rusted nails, the ladder was plucked from the wall. Yomogi pulled it up. With this, Miyazumi can't come out of
あ
the
の
basement.
さ。寒いんだけど。
You know, it's really cold down here. From down in the storeroom, Miyazumi still complained. Yomogi didn't
頭を冷や
respond.
すのにはちょうどいいだろ
It's just right to cool down, don't you think? I couldn't help but quietly watch the sequence of events. I didn't have the room to worry about Miyazumi. Every time I think about our supplies, I feel down. We don't have any rations left. What will we do from now on? Can we survive? Until the rescue team arrives, can we hold out? Irrational anxiety tightens something in my chest. I'm scared. When I think of what's happened before, it was really frightening. How much time had passed? I look at my watch. Around an hour, I thought, but actually it was only about 30 minutes. The flow of time is growing endlessly slower and slower. I wrapped myself up in the blankets on the bed and just stayed still. My stomach had been complaining of hunger for a while. Mayuzumi had been cursing the whole time. Has been cursing the whole time. Her voice trembled with cold. With the passage of time, the strength of her voice was gradually depleted. It must be pretty cold down there. Being trapped there for 30 minutes without any blankets must be close to torture. Okay, this is pretty intense. I'm gonna, um, figure out a way to put a save here. Somewhere. Put one of these. Yeah, okay. Alright, nope, it's saved in 41. Okay. Exhaustion notes. .txt. Okay. Okay. Again, still don't know how to trigger the stuff in scars. Tastes like paranoia, shadow of falsehood, and an awful lot of the beginning of ego collapse. We're only 27% into the end of self-interests. Okay. There's a 47 is still missing. It's pretty intense missing stuff here. Okay, well, that'll be it for this one.